the people that are buying Jaguars right now are not the sort of people, as much as people want to say it is, they're not suave, cool people. The Spec of Shmee's car, which we didn't like, has got back to Shmee. Hello, welcome back to the Cars Rule Everything Around Me podcast, episode 10?
10.
10. We are 10 episodes in. My name is Edwin, this is Will, and we like to answer the question at the beginning of every single podcast, do cars rule everything around us this week, or do they ruin everything around us? William, please start us off.
Now, there's nothing to say anything other than a rule again this week.
Ooh.
There's been no bad news.
Well, let's be a couple bits about news.
Oh, yeah.
Our limo.
Quite long news.
Terribly
but
long.
Personal car-wise,
Personally?
I'm going with rule... Yeah, why not?
Nice. To be honest, I'm the same.
I'm on a streak.
We're on a
streak.
We're on a streak. My Merc is still... I actually still really like it.
Still like it?
And I think this is good. This is kind of you. I'm not really attached to it yet. Although, yesterday, while we were scrolling for cars to buy for the next series, I found an E55, which is the supercharged one. That's the one I want. Over 200,000 miles on it. A wagon. And I looked at it and went, maybe I could swap the C55
I
for that.
think you should.
But then, so I thought that, because I was like, I'm not attached to this car. And then I thought, I quite like that C55.
Oh, so you're done.
It's already starting.
It's done.
It's already starting.
Right, so that car's sticking around
That car's getting a supercharged engine.
I expect to see it on a lift for the next 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But overall, it's a rule. I'm happy. Actually, no, sorry. I've just remembered something. It's not a rule for me. It was a rule, right? I've actually tried to clear it out of my mind. A very nice subscriber got in touch with me after on our YouTube channel. We rebuilt an old Porsche 911 and it had a blown gearbox. So the company sold it to me because I was the only idiot, who's going to take it on. And I thought, I'll be able to save this gearbox. This gearbox can live. And a very nice subscriber got in contact and said, I have built many Porsche gearboxes. In fact, he was involved with building the Porsche gearboxes for the Singer DLS. That's pretty cool. So he knows his stuff. He said, pull the gearbox out and we'll take it apart together. He came round after work. His name's Andrew, very nice guy. And we took the top of the cap of the gearbox off. And before he finished taking it off, he went, yeah, man, that's done. The color of it is it was black inside from where bearings had broken down and just mashed the gearbox. And then two of the gears, which are 600 pounds a piece, had got basically lent into each other and chipped all of their teeth off because there was chunks in the oil. And then, each bearing is about 150 pounds, of which there are 15.
Nice.
So, I have to find another gearbox. So,
but it's bad.
It's bad, but it was expected.
It's definitive now.
I know the answer.
Yeah.
Once I get another gearbox, which I have a couple of contacts who I'm speaking to for gearboxes. Once we have that, she's up and going again. And then it will be just moments before it blows the engine, I'm sure.
So you going with a ruin then this week?
I'll flip a coin. It's a rule.
It's a rule.
Yeah.
So we're on a streak. We're on a good streak.
We're on a streak
of rules.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm expecting,
downhill. It can only go downhill from here.
See you in 2025.
All of our rules and ruins for the week.
Yep.
And should we start with some news? Because there's been news.
There has been news.
We've pre-filmed the last podcast and we said in it, there's been no news. And that week there was lots of news.
There's so much news.
We're on catch-up game. So we're a bit behind like before. But what we start with?
First thing, we'll get to Jaguar rebrand. Yeah. We will get there, but not yet. First thing that caught my eye, Lexus LFA replacement.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about this.
There's been rumours of this.
Yeah.
But quite recently, there were some spy shots I saw of a thing that looks like an LFA, or
a modern version.
A modern version of.
Does it look like an LC500? Because those, I always thought when I saw the spy photos of that, I was like, LFA replacement. Yeah. And then they went, it's just normal. It looks cool, but it's kind of normal.
Well, there is only one reason they're making this, and I think it's quite cool. Doesn't happen that often.
Is it homologation?
It's homologation.
That's cool.
So Toyota need something to homologate to make a GT3 car.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
It was apparently, or there were rumors that it was going to be a Toyota, but it's not. It's now going to, not confirmed, but the rumor now is that it's going to be a Lexus, likely to be an LFR.
Okay.
Bad news.
Oh, I was about to say, the only thing I care about is what is the engine.
You already know it's not happening.
Oh.
V10 won't be there.
Yeah, okay, but that's kind of fair because they had so many issues with that engine getting it there. So I'm going to say it's a V8 like the LCF.
It's a twin turbo V8.
Okay, and the LC500s and things, are those NA?
They are NA V8s.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. That's cool.
So, but twin turbo V8, I imagine because it's homologation, maybe because it'll be very expensive. It won't just be a run of the mill twin turbo V8.
It will be something cool.
Quite interesting.
And also, if they can bring Yamaha in, let's get those revs up. Let's get that 9K. We got the Temerario around now, so let's get those revs up.
We're going noble spec.
Yeah, more.
But
that's cool. You know what? It's always a good day when a manufacturer makes another cool thing.
Yeah, because Lexus, what have you heard from? I actually don't know.
Lexus went, we've made the LFA, guys. Everyone went, that was amazing. And they went, we'll see you in a bit, and left.
See you in 15 years. But I mean, disappointing, but the engine is disappointing. And that's the problem, is that as soon as it does come out and it comes out with the V8 twin turbo, it'd probably be very, very good. But the problem is you're following up a very, very, very impressive debut supercar album.
Yeah, the noise.
That there hasn't been other stuff in between.
No.
Here's the LFA. This is one of the best sounding cars ever made.
Yeah. Also, we've named our new one kind of close, so you're going to compare him. And then
it might have been better to have Toyota call it to have it. Yeah, because then everyone go, oh well.
Oh man, Toyota still with that FT1. Everyone got really upset that the Supra wasn't the FT1. They were never going to make it look like that.
No.
But as a supercar, as like a low-run production, that could have been feasible. That could have been cool. So that's Lexus.
That's that twin turbo V8. We'll wait and see.
Yeah,
we'll wait and see. Again, Lexus, if you want someone to have a look at it, have a drive,
have a go.
Let us know. Maybe we could compare it with an LFA, or two, or whatever. Cadillac are joining F1.
Oh, hello guys!
And now, okay, we're not F1 people.
What are these goddamn right turns?
Free bird. Do you remember the was it last year? Was it Le Mans?
I think it was the year before. The NASCAR in Le Mans.
Yeah, and it was the Camaro. Was it a Camaro?
It was. Yeah, I think it was. Camaro.
So we're not motorsport people.
No,
we're not.
But that was funny.
But that was
cool.
Quite funny. The memes that came from that of this huge thing next to like actual race cars.
As someone who cares nothing for motorsport, even I thought it was great. All of the people being like, well, it can't run. What's the point in it running? And then it was semi-competitive, as in it was quick. And everyone was like, ban it. He needs to be gone. Why is it here? That's amazing.
It just absolutely walking past stuff on the straights. It is a NASCAR.
That is the spirit of motorsport. That is Smokey Eunuch is looking down on that car going, hell yeah.
Americans came on a European holiday and said, God damn. We're going to show these Europeans has done.
You know what? I like France. I'm going to live here.
We're going to take the Camaro and we're going to France. But Cadillac joining F1, there'll be people talking about what this means for the sport. Who they're joining, who they're collaborating with. All I can think of is an old Cadillac.
Yeah, it's ours. It's our old Cadillac. 8.2 litres, making 16,000 horsepower because it's tuned for America.
Just flying through, that's Radeon actually.
Yeah.
Flying through there and just going, leaning right over and then leaning just
the other way. A couple of bald eagle screeches coming past.
Yeah.
So, if the head of Cadillac F1 team isn't Cletus McFarland, I don't want to know. I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, and they do like a seat molding for F1. And you have to sit in this bag or whatever. It's not. It's just like this vinyl seat. It's just this vinyl thing with a massive backrest.
Every time they do the fuel pit stop, someone jumps out, you just hear...
This is an electric seat in a Formula 1 car. Yep.
Yeah, it's goddamn comfortable is what it is.
Big wooden steering wheel.
It's a Landau roof on an F1 car.
I'm assuming, I haven't looked into it because I'll be honest, I don't care enough about F1.
No.
I'm assuming it'll be like Cadillac name under some
LMP
motorsport teams.
That's gonna upset a lot of people, but it is true. Neither of us are F1 people.
No, not really.
If for me, if there's never a chance that I can drive the car, as in I can't see one on the road, I can't see it around, it doesn't do anything for me.
And that's not it for me because I don't really feel that.
No,
I quite like that stuff, but also F1, I'll admit I liked Drive to Survive, the series, as many fans came from that series, but I watched that, but it's great because that's a condensed version. It's all the excitement. Some of it lies.
It's Watch Mojo. This is what happened in F1 2024.
Top 10 moments, basically. You watch it and go, okay, I haven't had to walk through the boring stuff.
Yeah.
Because some people like the politics in F1. They like the, F1 head of that team has called that guy a bum.
Oh.
And that's not nice.
It's like a Fast and Furious. Hey, I'll see you on the track, man.
I'm going to steal your driver, ass.
More than you could afford, pal.
Than Cadillac Joy. What's your retail on one of those? Max Verstappen? I don't care, man.
What are you talking about?
But that's F1. The cars are cool, but they're not as cool as they were.
That's the issue for me. We went to that F1.
Yeah.
We went to Silverstone.
We did go to Silverstone, yeah.
And the experience was great.
Yeah.
We both took our dads, like we said in a podcast before. And I mainly took my dad because he loves F1.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe in person, and this is going to upset a lot of people, that it did nothing for me. I was like, in person, I'm going to be like, oh, I get it. And they came past the first time, and I was like, nah.
They're better. They're definitely better in person because you've got lots of other sounds that you don't get on the TV. Like you can hear anti-lag and you hear a crack on a downshift, and it's how fast they go through corners, and it's very impressive. But once you've had it a couple of times, it's kind of not as. Whereas, like I remember a couple of times I've been to see Rallycross, and
now rally that's what I was.
That's your guy.
Early 2000s, 90s, when my dad was showing me F1 stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, cars. And then I flicked over. You remember it was like Sunday mornings. You'd get on just normal. I never had we never had, what do you call it? Sky or what do you call it? Pay TV that you pay for. We just had normal, like the 10 channels that you had. Yeah. And one of them had some form of rally like wrap up. It was a WRC wrap up. I remember seeing it and going, what the hell are these guys doing?
Euro something?
Yeah, Eurosport. Eurosport TV, yeah. But it was something like that. And I flicked over and it was a clip of Colin McRae doing the longest skid in the world in a Focus. And I was like,
that's cool.
What's this? This could be good.
Yeah.
I could like this.
Yeah.
And since then I was like, that rally's what I would like.
It's more about I don't care so much about the motorsport. I like the machine.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough, years and years ago, I went to Fiorano to do filming for old job. And at the time, there was what do they call it? Corsa Cliente, which is the mega rich dudes. They own
FXXs.
They own some of the old Ferrari motorsport stuff, whether that's Formula One cars or whatever, and they can drive it on Ferrari's test track.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Ferrari keep it. So you pay them millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Ferrari keep your car. Ferrari tell you may use it on this day at our track. You do not get to take it home. Crazy.
Sort of understandable with an F1 car. I don't know where else you go with it. But on that day, there was a guy who owned an F2004. I don't know anything about F1.
Is that V12?
But I know that's an 8, I think.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Or 10.
Or 12?
Or no, it's an 8 or a 10. I'm fairly sure it's a V8. But that is in that V8, V10 era.
Ooh.
Those two eras of F1, they are the one. And I remember we pulled up to Fiorano and you could hear it. Yeah. And again, no one in Maranello cares.
No, yeah.
That there is a screaming F1 car. They're all just in the streets praying and like saying, give us more.
Also, if you were...
just unbelievable.
Imagine being in Maranello and someone going, can they keep that racket down? Like, this is literally what we're about. We're built on this.
This is what we do. But that was one of the best things I've heard. And then also an FXX went out. But yeah, like again, and Rally, I remember going to Linden Hill, which I'm not sure. I think they might be back at Linden Hill.
It's
now.
back.
I can't remember.
That's cool.
But Linden Hill, we should go. We went. That was one of our first like
Rallycross
outdoor shoots.
And there was it was a Metro 6R4, an RS200, and a 911. It was like a weird kind of mishmash of classic cars. There wasn't a Quattro. I don't remember because I would have remembered the noise would be ingrained in me. And it was just them yinging around this track. And I even at that point, I was like, I could get used to watching this. Yeah. This is cool.
I remember there was Linden Hill, you can get quite close to the track. Unlike, and it was still World Rallycross, I think they call it. So this is big. This is the Rallycross event basically. And they do, before they all like line up for the actual race, after they've done all the different qualifying and bits, they'd line up on the start line and they'd do a launch and then they go off and then they do like a little warm up before they come and grid up. But you could stand right on the start line, not right on the start line, but basically literally 20 feet away basically from these. And this, I think it was one of the S1s.
It wasn't it was a proper guy?
Yeah. But only one of the new ones though. So just a 4-cylinder, but like a 600 horsepower thing.
The guy
it did anti-lag launch control. And then it took off. I was like,
that's cool. Yeah, also the squat as well. That's
just so cool.
Any car that squats on a launch, I'm about.
Anyway, big
that was a mega tangent.
Big tangent, but rally over F1. Yeah. But also motorsport. It's just a bit meh, isn't it really?
Oh god, everyone's gonna be so upset.
Oh, you should try my motorsport. No. No.
Doing
Has
it,
got cool
I'm
cars
sure
in it?
doing it.
Oh, doing it.
Absolutely agreed.
It's also very expensive.
But watching it, I can't.
Yeah, no.
I can't watch any
Did you
sport.
hear Colin McBingle won last weekend? No, I didn't. Right, Cadillac in F1.
Great, done. Tick.
Goddamn. BMW have done something cool.
I saw this.
They have wrapped a real M3 GTR.
He's one of he's one of the main ones that it was well known.
This isn't like an M3 that someone's converted.
Yeah,
which has been done before.
An
also,
E46.
Sorry, what we're talking about is Delivery is the 2005 Most Wanted game
on an E46 M3 GTR, of which there were, I want to say there's like 2 or 3 road cars, so they don't exist really, and the race cars. Obviously, no one's wrapping one of them in race cars. They're race cars, but BMW went. That further instills in me that car is the most influential, is the most recognizable, is the most influential game car of all time.
I'd probably agree with you.
The thing that I always find the most interesting about it, you basically never get to drive it in the game.
Yeah,
it's not like something that you, from start to finish in this game, it's the only thing you drive. You get to drive it at the beginning, and then it goes away, and then if you're good enough at the game, you can get it back at the end. Yeah. And then you basically, you finish the last mission, and that's basically it. So you get to drive it a couple of times in a game, and yet everyone knows that car.
Everyone.
Yeah. It is the car.
At least for at least a generation.
Yeah.
There might be a younger generation that goes, I don't know what that car is, blood.
Yeah, but at the
same Riz, get me in a Tesla.
But at the same time, even everything since then, Need for Speed always harks back to it. Yeah, you can always get it in a game.
Which is kind of why this has happened.
Yeah.
Unbound, which is the Need for Speed I bought and have never played because it's not very good. Actually, it's all right.
It's all right.
Maybe I'm old. I don't know. But anyway, apparently they're doing lots of like nostalgic stuff.
Okay.
And one of the cars you can now get is a proper M3 GTR, which I swear you could do that anyway.
In the game?
No, but like in other Need for Speeds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have
kind of like in the last Need for Speed, I'm fairly sure you could do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, that car is...
That's the guy.
He's car game car.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
I asked for a model of an M3 GTR when I was a kid.
Because
of that.
Yeah.
I remember I got it.
Was it Phoenix yellow?
It was all white. No, it was an M3 GTR race car. It was actually one of the best. I dropped it off of a ledge.
Nice.
Not like a ledge, but like a, I don't know, shelf. That's it. Right. Not a ledge. And it had a dented roof. It was a really good model.
Yeah.
I was like, why isn't it?
Why is he not blowing silver?
Why are they not racing?
What are we doing, man? But yeah, that would be that car. That's cool. Especially that BMW, even BMW.
Yeah.
They must get it so much that they're like, all right,
fine.
So
apparently it's on display in Munich until January the 6th.
Okay, cool.
So if you are there or
head on over,
there,
peep it.
Have a look. Send us a picture. Or don't.
Speaking of games, I didn't mention, so not last week because we were away, the week before on the screen, we had, I didn't mention it at all, one of my favorite games of all time, Stuntman, the first one. Not the guys in New York who smash up cars. The guys who go, what's it got, Stuntman? But instead, the game, the PS2 game, which had, and I saw a couple comments, and I just want to let you know I appreciate you, who are saying, is that Stuntman in the background? Let the bass line hit you. Just the amount of, anytime you say Stuntman to someone, I said it to you, what did you say? What was the...
something about smashing through the boxes.
Smash through the boxes.
Through the boxes.
Hit the microlight. It is, if you haven't played that and you like PS2 games, go play Stuntman, one of the best. Great. And then on screen now, if you're an audio listener, we have another Hall of Fame.
This might be my favorite car game overall, like for pure fun factor. Also, one of the best games if you have friends.
Oh,
this split screen.
Split screen and also Crash. It is Burnout 3 Takedown. Yeah. For those of you that, sorry, we keep doing this thing where we're like, yeah, this thing that we haven't explained is great. But no, Burnout 3 Takedown, you had Crash Breaker as well. Wonderful. Where you could try and start making money, or you could build up your money as high as you can. The amount of times my friends and I would be like, all right, now let me go. No, I'm going to hit the oil tanker. Watch this. Yeah. It is a
we are the lazy generation.
Hey, I thought you don't listen to music.
Yeah, but he's in the menu.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I mean.
Fair.
In the menus, we're good.
It is
when I'm racing.
That's also racing. That's also the song.
It's not just the song. What's his name? Crash.
Striker from Crash FM.
That's the one. Striker from Crash from Striker FM. Anyway, beyond the games. So did I say January 6th?
Yeah, yes. Anyway. So go ahead if you're in
Jaguar rebrand.
Okay.
We all have to talk about it.
Everyone's talked about it. We're late to it. Do you know what?
Here we go.
I'm going to say it.
Here we go.
People are blowing out of proportion.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's dumb. I think it's a bad move. But when I say that, I think people are blowing out of proportion. I see loads of comments of people being like, Jaguar's just destroyed themselves. They'll never sell another car again. The majority, and when that news came out, I made a conscious decision to look at every new Jaguar, newer, couple-of-year-old Jaguar driver I could. And do you know what it all is? Every single one. It's not red-blooded British men who are like, whoa, my Jaguar, you're not taking away my... It's people's mums. It's middle-class white women. And guess what? The new badge looks like a Gucci logo or a handbag logo. Do you think they care? Do you think middle-class white women who can buy Jaguars give a shit?
Yeah, but they're also not selling, though.
But this is my point. But so if they're not selling anyway,
but it's because they're making the wrong product, I believe.
Why?
They're going down this EV route, smashing. That's obviously not what the kind of Jag people want to
But that's the thing. I don't think that's true. I think
if you need a rebrand, it's unlikely to be to do with the way you've packaged it. It's probably to do with your product.
Oh, I fully agree with that. But I think the people that are buying Jaguars right now are not the sort of people, as much as people want to say it is, they're not suave, cool people. The whole Jag
but if they're buying it without the logo change, now, why have a logo change?
Agreed. No, agreed. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good change.
Or not even a logo. That's the thing. It's not about the logo change. The logo's dreadful.
Yeah, it's not appalling. Good. The uppercase, lowercase thing is...
that costs millions.
There is... I cannot fathom a single reason why you would do that. It looks like a child has done it.
Yeah. I've seen multiple people who have just slightly redesigned the original. And it's £1,000.
It's way better.
Also probably cost them £20.
Yeah.
To do that. And
get someone a fiver to do it.
That probably took multiple departments, millions of pounds, months, years to do that. And they came out with that and went, yeah, that's good, mate. It's more that I think they've kind of messed up. It's more the messaging around it all.
That I agree.
They launched that ridiculous advert, which looked like a perfume advert. And then they've got people from Jaguar saying, we're trying to move away from cars.
Yeah.
What are you trying to achieve?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I saw a video of, I think it was at some form of marketing conference and it was whoever was the chief marketer for the rebrand talking about it. And there's not a single mention of a direction for a automotive company. It's like, and I'm not trying to be, obtuse, but be like, what even is the word? Basically, it's them being like, it's about inclusivity. It's about this. I'm not trying to be anti that at all. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't care. You're a car company.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're developing.
Make good cars.
Tell me about the tech that you're doing with these cars or the market that you're... I don't care about that. This is not for you to talk about.
Also, did you see the leak of the Jag?
The stillborn?
I don't care what that is under that wrap. It's not a good looking car.
Sorry, the weird wagon, almost clown shoe looking.
The back of it. So I think someone did a comparison with the Crossfire. It's not what you want to do. Again, they might take the camo off. They might change some stuff slightly, but that's a bad looking car.
Yeah.
I just think when has an incredibly good car, like an incredibly well-known, good performing car company ever had to rebrand this badly?
But if you think of Ford, if you think of
Ferrari, if you think of Lamborghini, maybe BMW have changed a couple. They have changed, but not that much.
Yeah, no, the core is still always the same.
Mercedes, not that different.
No, and especially that is the bit that I do understand the people who are like, the history is gone. Like, that is agreed. That logo is childhood me was one of the first cars I could tell. A Jaguar, I knew what a Jaguar was. I saw that emblem. I'm like, I know that guy.
Also, what I don't understand is why would you not leave Jag as it is
and do a spin off?
And make
like
a new brand.
Lexus.
Yeah, like you know, like I don't know. I mean, obviously, you have no idea how well that stuff does. Like Citroen had DS or whatever.
Yeah.
But if Jag made an
EV
hip, trendy brand, because the thing is, it's still called Jaguar. So it doesn't matter what it is. If you are of a certain age, you're going to understand what Jaguar is. and the perception of what Jaguar is, which
Exactly.
is kind of a little bit old and stuffy, but also it's like,
It's cool.
I don't think it's as bad anymore. It's a little bit like, it's JLR, isn't it? It's Jaguar Land Rover. So you see a Jaguar and you kind of think Land Rover, it's a British car, kind of a bit fancy.
That's one of the reasons that I think they did go, we need to fully rebrand, because as cool as Jaguar is concerned with like car people, also if you ask a car person, what should I never buy? It's a Jaguar. A friend of mine who is recently got a new job said, oh, look at this. I really like the look of this. And it was a F-Pace. And I said, do not buy it. Do not buy a Jaguar Land Rover product because you will end up spending loads of money on it. And he went, all right, fine, I won't. That's a sale gone.
Yeah.
Simply because of their reputation.
A shit ton of bad. Is it the Ingenium engine?
Yo, yeah.
That's in like
I think so.
All of the I think that's what it's called. It's got some ridiculous name. But that's been incredibly unreliable.
Yeah.
Fix that. Fix that maybe. And then maybe again, because a brand like Jaguar is never ever going to be BMW or, well, you know, maybe I'm being not ambitious enough for Jag. It's never going to be to that level, but there are still going to be
in terms of what though?
Do you mean? In terms of like just pure volume of people.
Oh, agree. Yeah. Agreed.
Like
it will always be a niche in inverted commas.
3 Series. You're never going to have a Jag that suddenly comes out of nowhere and takes over the 3 Series or the 5 Series. But that isn't the point.
No.
It's I want a 5 Series, but I want something that's a bit nicer than a 5 Series. It's a bit nicer inside. It's a bit more comfortable. It's got, you know, leather's nice or whatever. It's a Jag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I always think, when I looked at it, I was like, why? It feels like they could have freshened the brand up better. So someone did a comparison, actually. They posted there was a really cool advert Jag did ages ago.
The F-Type.
It was the villain.
Helicopter.
It was the villain
one.
Is that
a
Jags
great
are driven
advert
by villains.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Again, part of this is that it's the wrong people moaning about it. A lot of the people moaning, like you said, they're not Jag buyers.
No.
They're not. In fact, probably 90% of the people moaning aren't Jag buyers. I am not going to buy a Jag new.
No, exactly.
I'm not buying a Jag new.
You have to remember this, that car manufacturers do not build cars for us.
No.
We buy cars for £4.85 when they've depreciated to the bottom of the curve. Yeah. They don't care about us. They don't make money off us.
Yeah.
They have to target people who are buying them new, which is what my point is, that driving around, the only people I see driving new Jaguars are people's mums or wives. And I don't think they're going to care that much. I think they're going to look at the new logo, go, "Ooh, that's nice. That's a bit different. Cool." They're not going to care. I think the hit to the image, absolutely there. That is from anyone that knows anything, they're going to go, "You've messed up." But I don't genuinely think that there's going to be that much of an impact in their already poor sales.
It feels to me, it feels like it's, rather than go, perhaps the cars are the problem. I'm sure they are. Obviously they are, because they've stopped making new cars.
Yeah.
There's going to be a batch of new stuff. But again, that's another problem. It's going to be EVs.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be, I think, all EV basically. But it's gone, how do we fix this? Perhaps a rebrand.
Yeah.
You could probably leave the brand as is. I don't know. Freshen it up ever so slightly. Make some better cars.
Yeah.
And then you might do all right.
If there are a couple of Jag engineers around, a couple of Skunkworks Jag engineers who've got a couple 5-litre supercharged laying around, build yourself a little last hurrah.
Yeah.
Little XJ220 type beat. Just a couple 10, 15 if you can. Off the books. Get them gone. One last hurrah. Come on.
That would be cool. That's what we want. Also, kind of thing that saves a company.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not in today. Maybe not today, but do it anyway.
I mean, with Aston, with their, what was it, the Victor?
Yeah.
The really angry looking one. Because, I don't know, for me at least, Astons were kind of tailing off. That the new design language from the DBS Superleggera, the new one, was cool, but it's still a bit like,
Also, they'd use that same, even though it's new, but it's since the DB9 and the DB7, they all had that
very
same
similar
kind of shape.
And then they did that one-off thing, and everyone went mental for it and was like, this thing is sick.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, wait, you like that? Okay. And now they've made the new one, which is now 100 of the similar kind of one. Whatever.
That of,
Valor, perhaps.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't know anything about new car stuff.
We're just idiots. Cars.
So, but tough times for Jag.
I wouldn't want to work at Jag right now.
Mm-mm.
But
A lot of jokes.
Hope they pull through, because there has been some cool stuff from Jaguar.
Oh, absolutely. That Jaguar is something that can't really get lost to the annals of time. We can't have.
It can't do a Saab.
We can't have a Saab. Can't have a Rover.
No.
Come on, not like this.
Oh yeah, if Jaguar goes away, it comes back in 10 years as a Chinese EV brand. That'd be
be upsetting.
Very upsetting. Anyway, that's Jaguar. There'll be people in the comments telling us we're wrong or whatever, but discuss.
Fine. Fair.
Discuss below, because no one really knows what they're talking about. That's what I've gathered. Not even Jag.
Especially not Jag.
Oh, this is news-ish.
Okay.
A few podcasts ago, I mentioned that if I had £50 million or thereabouts, I would want a Huayra R, but road legal.
Yeah.
And I figured that wasn't available.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise I probably would have bought one, you know.
Yeah, by now, yeah. Fair.
But anyway, a man messaged me named Thomas Stoner. Okay. He's not a stoner. He's a photographer.
Okay.
And he said, I heard you talk about it on the podcast. That's actually happening. So
Lanzante are doing it?
Lanzante are currently making a Huayra R road legal. I mean, God knows how many back boxes they're putting in that thing.
What they've done is they found a deaf MOT tester.
There's just a policeman outside.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
MOT tester. Is it loud? What? No.
What?
I can't. No.
What did you say? Perfect.
Is it it's running,
test.
is it? Yeah. Yeah, it's running.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Why is it not rolling on the rollers?
Don't know. Don't worry about it.
I won't try.
Here's £50, mate.
But anyway, that's really cool. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit. I think they're going to have to make it quieter, which is kind of what makes the Huayra so cool.
Yeah, but anyway, once the MOT test is passed, just like all good car people.
Yeah.
Sorry, just like all irresponsible car people that we are not a part of. You're sitting there for the test, and then, oh mate, someone's nicked it. Someone's nicked my back box.
But almost bigger than that. I would want a Huayra more, but this is very cool news. He also told me.
I was getting excited about this.
He also told me Sesto Elemento. You know what that is?
That's the sixth element, do you mean?
The sixth element, which
again, another perfect example of Italian car naming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Jaguar sixth element. Yeah.
Jag. If you want to rebrand, go to Italy.
Meanwhile, Italy, the Sesto Elemento.
Sesto Elemento. But that was a Lamborghini Gallardo, basically, underneath, but like mega stripped down.
What was it?
Had no seats in it. The seats were just the sort
was
of.
Was it sub-ton? Was it 1100?
Was it something?
It was something ridiculous compared to a Gallardo.
Which meant they didn't do too much with the engine, but again, it was hundreds of kilos saved. All carbon fiber, looked a bit mental. It looked more like what Lamborghinis look like today.
But It was angry.
But they're not road legal.
No, yeah.
So apparently there was an owner. I think he's in the UK anyway. He's gone to Lanzante, and they are making a Sesto Elemento.
All they're doing,
legal.
They're making a little number plate bracket. That's it. That's all you need. Actually,
it looks quite road legal.
Yeah,
I mean, it must be noise. Maybe I don't know. Maybe seats. I don't know.
Yeah,
because it's got lights and shit.
Yeah. Mr. MOT tester, that's all it needs.
It's got lights.
You argue with them.
Yeah.
Hey, it's got lights and shit. So what do you want from me?
I'll bung a number plate on it. Off you go. Is it loud? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, who cares, mate?
Our main beams. Yeah. Indicators? No, I don't.
Who cares, mate?
No. Yeah, as long as you've got brake lights.
I'm going too fast for anyone to notice.
But I think that car's been seen a bit on social media. It's been at a few shows.
Yeah, it was a supercar driver.
Because suddenly a Sesto Elemento just appeared on social media. I was like, also,
hello, mate.
Where did that come from? Who just suddenly went, oh, I've got one of those.
Speaking of supercars appearing from nowhere.
Oh, yes.
It has been a big week for me. Because I'm going to try and distill this down. I'm trying because we're already good amount into this podcast, and I don't want this to be a 6-hour long podcast. But the Brunei royal family's car collection is something that I have been obsessed with for how old am I? I'm 27, upwards of 28 years. I have been obsessed with this since I was a child. So, for those of you that don't know, the Brunei royal family, Brunei is a tiny little country, kind of over towards like Singapore, Indonesia, tiny. I think you can drive across it in 45 minutes an hour.
Is it that small?
It's very small. But what they are is incredibly oil rich, and it's a sultanate. So there is a royal family who has basically a dictatorship over the entirety of the wealth of the, I was about to say island. It's not an island, but country. Now, since the 70s, 80s, they have had a lot of money. But here's the thing that gets interesting for us. They are also, the whole family, incredibly into cars. And they have been collecting cars for a very long time. And it got to a point in the 90s. Now, also, there's a lot of politics around the royal family about things they do, things they don't do. I'm going to say it. I don't care. I'm here for the cars and cars only. You can think whatever you want. I'm not here to comment on that. I'm here to comment on the specs of the cars they bought. That makes me a bad person. Cool. Let it run.
So be it.
But in the 90s, they were buying obscene amounts of cars. The total number is around about 4,000 to 5,000 in the collection at one point. Now, but the way I like to explain it to people and how special they are, as in the cars, not the people, is, let's say, Will, you've just gone to the 95 or 96, a Geneva Motor Show in the 90s. You go up to the Ferrari stand, they got the new cars on there, they've got a Testarossa 512 TR, got an F50, they got 348.
Yep.
You've made a load of money. You go up and you say, hello, what would you, I'm the Ferrari dealer.
Yep.
You've made a lot of money, couple mil this year.
I've quite a bit.
And we've got these 3 cars. Well, so what can I interest you in any of these?
Could I take the F50?
Ooh, the F50. Now there's only a few hundred of these. They are very, very, therefore are very special customers. Have you bought Ferraris before with us?
No, I could.
No, but you could afford an F50.
I could. Yeah.
You absolutely can't have this.
All right.
No,
that's not very nice.
No. If you could buy a load of Ferraris, we might let you have one.
Right.
So
I'm going elsewhere.
Will goes elsewhere. For instance, Mike behind the camera, he does the same thing. He comes up. He's been buying 10s, 20s, 30s of Ferraris for a while.
Nice.
He comes up, he goes, can I have an F50? They go, you know what? You've bought enough Mondials. We're going to let you have an F50. But it is left-hand drive. Even though you're in the UK, Mike, you may not have a right-hand drive. We make them all left-hand drive. Red, we're not, unless you're really, really special, you're going to have a red one. You don't get a choice in that. There were a few yellow, silver, black F50s. That's it. Now, the royal family, and the other thing to note is that everyone tends to confuse that the Sultan himself is who owns all these cars. It's not. That's a misconception. His brother is the one, Prince Geoffrey, who's the one who's majorly.
Whoa.
Prince Geoffrey.
His name is Geoffrey.
Spelled Jefri, not Jeffrey.
But his name is Jeff.
Jeff. His name's
okay,
Jeff.
Fine. Just wanted to get past that.
Prince Geoffrey and his son, the princes, are the ones who are more interested in cars. I should qualify this. I have a very deep knowledge of this because I love this. Not as much as many others, but still have a good amount of knowledge. Now, the Sultan, the royal family walk up to Ferrari and go, right then, gang. Hello, Ferrari. F50 is a new one, yeah? I'll take 6 of those. But what you're going to do is you're going to send them back to Pininfarina and you're going to convert them all to right-hand drive. I want them all with custom specs. I want 2 yellow. One of those yellow ones is going to have a full red interior, full leather on the things, the carbon inlays. I want that leather. I want air conditioning. I want a tape player. I want all sorts of stuff. And Ferrari go, absolutely. No, absolutely, you may have that. And then they go, we'll take another 6. Another 6 F40s. That's, from memory, I think it's 6% of total F50 production was earmarked for them. Because there's 350, I think, total. And Ferrari go, yeah, you can have 6 more. Yeah. Sure. What are you going to do with those? And they go, we're going to send those and have them custom rebodied to a one-off thing just for us called the Bolide. Now, this was around the time that they ran out of money. So those 6 never happened. But the first 6 were converted to right-hand drive. And then Ferrari go, lovely, is there anything else we can get for you while you're here? They go, yeah, I'll take, 20 512 TRs. Nice. Convert half of them to Spiders. Where I was like, well, we don't do that. I went, yeah, okay, I don't care, but do it for me.
So I'm assuming this is because of, lots of power.
Power and
lots of money.
Of course. Yeah. Now, there is people know this better than me, but there is not a rumor, a story, call it a story, that the Brunei royal family single-handedly kept Bentley and Rolls-Royce afloat through the late 80s and 90s. Any time that they needed money, they would go to the Brunei royal family and go, yo, do you want some custom cars? Couple mil a pop. I think sometimes they were 6 to 7 million pounds in the 90s. That's like 15 to 20 million pounds a car.
Yeah.
So they go to Ferrari at that motor show. They buy those cars, buy upwards of 50, 60 cars from Ferrari, and then go, lovely, let's go to Porsche and do the same thing. And the same thing at Bentley, and the same thing at Rolls-Royce, and the same thing at Lamborghini, and the same thing with every high-end manufacturer every single year throughout the entire of the 90s. And when those cars are delivered to Brunei, they go away. They don't get driven.
But you've showed me many pictures and stories about this stuff. And it is, even though it's very, very cool, it's one of the most frustrating things because they're not, it is purely driven off of greed.
Yeah, well, it's because they can.
But that's what I mean. There is no desire to use them all or share them. If there was we're going to buy these and then they're going to get put on display or I'm going to share them with whatever else, it would feel almost wholesome.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, I'm doing this
because I can. No, absolutely. Yeah. And so the collection, so in the 90s, these cars were amassed. And also some of the cars were complete one-offs. They weren't just a normal car that was given a rare color or turned into right-hand drive. It was one-off cars built for Brunei by the manufacturers.
What was the Merc? It was at DK Engineering, sort of lifted. It looks like an SC430 for one better comparison. Is it like a? Oh God!
Which SC430? Hold on.
Doesn't look like that. Maybe it doesn't look like that. Wait. I'm pretty sure it's a Merc. Lifted. Merc. Convertible. I want to say.
No, that isn't that. That wasn't Brunei from memory.
Oh, is it not?
But that sort of thing. So they Bentley they did a thing called the Bentley Buccaneer, which looks like the Continental from the early 2000s, but built in the 90s.
Yeah.
Custom, complete one-off.
Yeah.
So these cars were all ordered, went to the family. Some were driven. It should be said, but you're not driving 5,000 cars.
Simply not possible.
In the 90s, the government in Brunei noticed that lots of money was going missing. And it turns out that the brother, Prince Jeffrey, was making what they called special investments under a company that was kind of owned by the government called the Amadeo Corp. And when they looked into it, they found that he was buying hundreds at a time, 600 S600 Mercs, and hundreds at a time of Porsche 928s, and etc. and etc. Just nothing special about them. Just 100 fleets of cars, just all black spec S600s, 8 Series, 30, 40 of those, bought and given to friends and things.
So it's like, you know, when so his bank account is going to say 1,000,000. And then you go into like a B&Q and you see that like 10 mil bolts at 3 pence.
Yes,
so like I could buy 1,000 of these. That's
the other thing I always try to explain to non-car people. The equivalent of that thing that they did at Geneva, for instance, walking around that show, buying all those cars, is the equivalent to someone watching who's living living off decent money, they have a job, walking into a coffee shop and buying a coffee. It is a drop in the bucket. It is.
What about 10 coffees though? It does get a bit excessive.
No, but
it's like going into Costa and going, can I have 3,000 coffees?
But it's the value wise to them.
Oh, right.
Is the equivalent of just buying the coffee. You're not going to not notice the money. There's a dent there, but you can probably afford to do it. By the time your next paycheck rolls around,
which is a dent.
Yeah. So once the government found out about these cars, everything was seized, and everything under the company was seized. So all the Mercs.
I was going to say the government. We're going to seize it all. Jesus Christ!
Whoa. But it wasn't just cars. That's the thing. The cars is the thing I'm interested in. It was houses, art, boats.
Yeah.
For instance, Prince Jeffrey had a boat that was called Tits.
Ooh.
Great. Just a random bit of knowledge for you.
2?
Just the one. Just the one.
Okay.
So all the cars were seized. And because of that, and there was a lot of outrage in the fact that Brunei's a very, very pretty country, but the average wage is not, especially in the 70s, 80s, 90s, was not that high. So there was a lot of outrage of,
hang on a minute.
You are just spending this money on absolutely ridiculous things.
Jeff, mate.
So as a payback, was not a punishment, but basically all the cars were seized and were slowly sold off. But the issue with selling off the cars is that there were so many that it would affect the global market. If they sold all of the Rolls Royces that were bought by the Amadeo Corp, it would crash the market for Corniches or crash the market for S-classes. So they had to slowly sell them off over the years. Every year, a couple hundred would go, a couple hundred S-classes would go, a couple hundred 8 Series would be sold off. But the really special stuff basically was locked away in the garage so that no one would find out, and they kept it under wraps so that people already knew about the company cars that were bought, company cars in brackets, not the really special stuff. And so it became this thing shrouded in mystery that no one, there were a few public photos out there that not many people knew about. And then kind of people like myself who were really into it knew of a series of photos in 2001, which was when they started to sell stuff off, try and make some money back. Dealers in the UK said, we basically need to know what cars are there. So a comprehensive photo list was taken of every car in the collection. And there are basically 3 layers. It's like a multi-story garage. So like 3 layers up. And there's like 6 total garages of 3 layers full of cars. Of anything you can imagine.
Jeff's admin must be wild.
Well, every car had a sticker with a thing called a magic number. And that was the car number.
Well, hang on. Do you know what I want to see? Just thought of this. Where are the keys kept?
Yeah, no, this was a thing. So
not in the toilet.
Not in the toilet. So yeah, every car had a magic number, which is when then there were boxes of keys and things that all had their numbers, like 1 through 400 was in there.
Ferrari keys.
Yeah. What do I do? Don't know. Just walking around clicking it, beeping.
Because it's the Mercedes section. This is the S-Class key. They're all S-Class keys.
There are 1,000 of these. So the photos were taken in 2001 and they have always been very, very private. I'd seen a few, but not all of them. The other day, through, call it competition between Instagram pages who thought they had the right to post it and didn't, and XYZ, the entire stock was leaked.
Nice.
These photos are not recent. They're from 2001. They're from a very long time ago. What it shows is the cars sitting in the garage, and the list of things is, there's some
I've seen some, and I was like, this is a wild collection.
It is crazy. Some of the special stuff, for instance, one of my favorite ones is a Ferrari 456. They loved it. Jeffrey loved 456s.
This is the one,
And it has, and I'd already seen this. I told you about this car a couple of years ago. It has night vision. Where the speedo would be is a screen. And you're like, that's kind of weird. What's LCD screens in the 90s? Yeah. That's kind of strange. No, that's because the car runs an Apache helicopter night vision system. That's not like a gimmick or like a West Coast Customs thing.
Yeah.
They took an Apache helicopter night vision system and installed it, Pininfarina did, into a Ferrari 456. So you could drive the car in pitch black and see where you're going ahead.
That's just, and also, again,
and it was never used.
For something that's never going to be used, that's wild.
But here's the best bit. There was 2. They years later then got them to commission another one.
So you can find the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's Jeff, mate. Is off the
basically there was a room full of yellow cars. There was the Ferrari F40s. I know everyone's going a bit mental over the F40s.
One of the famous ones is the grey one that people know about.
Grey with the red stripe. Drive. So there tends to be anything that you tend to see with a red stripe will either be the Sultan's himself or Jeffrey's.
Or 205 GTI.
Or he looked at a black 205 GTI and went, hello, mate.
Why all cars be
That's kind of nice.
Mach 2 Golf.
But so pick a car brand. I'll tell you something in the collection that is very weird or interesting. Oh, there's a Matiz in there that's gold over tan. No.
There was any BMW? There must be a BMW.
There's a couple of BMWs. So here's a funny thing. BMW was seen by the family as a lower class car. Yeah. Mercedes was the top guy.
Okay.
So BMWs were tended to be bought for people. They would be bought and given to like friends or diplomats as like a...
They're like socks at Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not quite us.
Yeah.
You're not quite Mercedes.
Not even socks. It's like a selection box.
Yeah. We're having Ferrero Rocher. You're having celebrations.
Yeah. You've got a fudge.
You kind of go.
A chomp.
There was a couple of Alpinas in the collection. Couple 8 Series 5.7s. 2 of those. 2 5 litres. There's a photo of that for the first time in a while.
What was the E34? Was it
E34 Alpina? There's a yellow one that was in the yellow room,
3.6,
which is one of the princes who was, I might be wrong on this, but he was in his teens when he was asked, would you like to fill a room with cars? Of which a McLaren F1 is in there.
Nice.
And so he, as a child, was going, your McLaren F1, mate, what spec would you like it? So I went, I'll go yellow on that, yeah. And there's an F50 that's right-hand drive that is yellow with red interior. It's Ronald McDonald spec. That's not, but I like it because it's so rare. Yeah. It's just dumb. So yeah, yellow room has a load of Diablos.
I was going to say Lamborghinis. I haven't seen many.
There weren't too many. So a couple of Countachs.
There was a Diablo next to that Alpina.
LM002s. He had a wagon LM002 made.
Of course, yeah.
that was in the UK for a long time in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
What's the most like? Is there anything? Obviously, so I'm thinking you could probably pick from sort of Bentley, Audi, Mercedes, Lamborghini, or the usual sort of luxury stuff. Is there anything like
weird? Yes,
like relatively
Supra,
normal?
A couple Supras in there.
Okay,
an R32 Skyline.
Yeah.
There's a Fiat Cinquecento one-off like pickup truck that's made. There's I think maybe a concept car that's in there.
Do you think manufacturers in like the 90s were sort of just waiting for the call?
They're just hoping.
They were saying like Ferrari's down the road.
Please God, please
and this guy's paying millions for just
whatever he says
for stuff that doesn't actually take that much effort for us. Really, Fiat are at the phone like he's going to call. He's going to call.
I wonder if Ferrari was like Fiat's Ferrari. Just ask him if he wants the Fiat. Just ask him if he wants the Cinquecento.
Saab at the phone.
Hi, mate.
No one calling.
My little brother's just asking if you want to take the Cinquecento as well. He'll take it. Well, thanks. Yeah, he said he'll take it. Yes. There's all sorts of weird. They're just random things in there. There's a thing called a Q-Pod, which is I think it's an amphibious car. There's two of those in there.
Nice.
The McLaren F1s are obviously some of the most ridiculous ones. There's an F1 GT. There's 3 of the 5 F1 LMs ever made.
I saw,
2 of which are painted in a very interesting livery. There's actually one of them was given away to another royal family quite recently.
Yeah. So there is well over 100 million pounds worth of F1s.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, how much are they
just
worth?
F1s? Yeah.
The ones that are. What is interesting, and you probably won't remember this. Again, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to make this too long.
It's fine. It's cool.
The yellow F1 from the collection that there are photos of now that people are going crazy over. People don't realise that F1 is no longer there. That car escaped, in inverted commas. Another quick tangent. None of them are rotting away. Everyone loves to say this. It's a little bit perpetuated by the donut video, which was kind of done off Wikipedia information, that they're all sitting rotting. None of them rotting. They are in a air-conditioned, humidity controlled garage. The special cars are taken care of very well because there's a lot of money. There are some that were abandoned. Cars that were, there's a Koenig Lister, a couple of Koenig SLs that were thrown into a rainforest, into a forest, and have sat for 30 years because they ran out of space in the garage. So
of course, that's normal, though.
You're going to go into the forest for a bit because we've just got a new shipment of Mercs.
F1s have got to move in there, and the F40s have got to move. Do you know what? Admin here is awful.
Oh, crazy.
Imagine when we have to move the car park around and there's a car that hasn't got, how many like jump packs have they got?
Oh, God.
They go, we need to jump start this car. We reverse the F40 out, jump it off the F40.
Oh, they're all in a line as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember the full number, but it's 10 XJ220s, or 10 plus.
Jag.
There's
you want that
Jag, mate, get it going
again. On the
phone. There's a couple custom rebodied XJ220s that were called the J's. 959s, there's 5 or 10 of those, all right-hand drive. It is Testarossa convertibles. The 15.
In Old Job Overdrive, I worked with a mechanic chap called Richard.
Yeah.
In a previous life, I want to say it was MG.
Okay.
It might be Bentley. That's two very different things.
Yeah, I would assume.
But he worked on Brunei cars. I must ask him at some point again. He used to work on sort of making and putting together some of the more custom stuff for those
Rich
cars.
on a podcast would be from the stories you've told me. Rich is a funny guy and he's got knowledge.
Richard's got just pulls out random stories.
Maybe we'll get Richard on the podcast.
So, when I used to work on the Sultan of Brunei's Rover, it's like, whoa,
hold on,
say that again.
But like there was it was so big that they set up so there was an amusement park built in Brunei in the 90s that was never opened.
Yeah.
And then just outside the amusement park is where the garages are, where all of the special stuff is kept. And it got so big, and there were so many cars being built that there were like production managers and people building cars in Brunei to keep up with the demand. So there was people from Pininfarina with a garage inside the Royal Palace. Sorry, not the palace. Inside the Royal garages, building cars as quick as they could build them for them. That's wild.
You know what? They could make the maddest YouTube channel. It would be like Cristiano Ronaldo's just started a YouTube channel. It's just flown. That's what car YouTube would be.
And also,
if a man like Jeff would put up.
I've said this to you multiple times throughout my life that I would leave everything behind just to go on a tour of it.
Yeah,
I know, and I've seen photos, but I just need to. My one of my life goals is to own an ex Brunei royal family car.
Yeah,
there's
an F1.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It wouldn't even need to be that. an 850. There's a couple of abandoned 850s still in Brunei that I would love to restore.
What is it? There's pictures of what they roll around in. Is it like it's an older G-Wagon?
He has a Brabus G-Wagon. The Sultan has a Brabus G-Wagon.
Not like the current gen either. It's like the one just
it's a later. It's a late. I think he does now have a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they roll around in all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah. Also, just crazy. You've got 5,000 utterly random cars. You go, do you know what? I'll just drive
pull up in the G-Wagon.
Because if that was your collection, you go, do you know what? We're out in F53 today.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that's the thing. They
McLaren number 4 out.
But they couldn't because of what happened.
Yeah.
They can't show it off. They can't, which is why, again, now because these photos have leaked, it will probably become a little bit more secret again for a couple of years where everyone's like, right, put them away.
Damn. It's not great, is it? People struggling to pay jobs, and then meanwhile your royal families is 5,000.
Are you in the 10th McLaren F1 today? No, I'm in number 6. I'm in the Le Mans winning F1 GTR replica.
It's just parked just past my hundreds of S classes.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you a Heathrow taxi firm?
So yeah, that's Brunei. That's potentially 1/100th of what I'd like to talk about it.
Well, I mean, we'll come definitely back. We'll go over it again. There's probably plenty more stories. Also, individual cars as well.
Oh, hundreds of individual cars that have great stories.
Yeah, I mean, like a Ferrari 456 with an Apache system in it.
Yeah, is
scraping
the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. So that's been leaked basically.
Yeah, exactly. So those photos around some. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Some people to go missing.
Yeah. Because there was then some photos from more recent times that were leaked, and so someone basically leaked them and was like, "Well, clearly we can leak them all now." Someone posted some of the recent ones. He deleted the stories quite quickly and said, "I apologize for my actions." Yikes!
Oh dear.
Mike, can we get a check? How long are we running right now?
57 minutes.
Oh,
okay, that's not too bad.
Good.
I was expecting worse.
Yeah, I was
expecting.
I was thinking
1 hour
3 hours in.
Minutes. Okay. Well, not too far to go.
We'll come back to Brunei next week and the week after.
Maybe we'll do one big special. If we can get a couple of special Brunei guests on. I don't know if it's too contentious to get a royal family on.
No, yeah, they're not.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Yeah,
Jeff, mate.
We can ask around. If you can get me legally and not get shot into the into the collection, please get in touch. I'll tell no one. I'll say I never was there. I just want to walk around it. I just need to look. Want to look.
You wouldn't even want to take a photo.
I don't even need to take a photo.
Oh, lock the phone away.
I might be wearing glasses. I swear I always wear glasses, but that's not a camera in the glasses. Don't worry. My tie. Why is my tie beeping? Don't worry about it.
Why has that man got a camera behind you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, right. Off of Brunei. We'll get back to Brunei at another podcast because there's many things to talk about. Some updates. What we've been up to. We have been doing some stuff. Bad news.
Really bad news.
Sorry, actually, I'll start with some good news that we'll get to in a minute.
James May for no reason.
We drove a Dacia Sandero.
We really did.
And then bad news. Our limo is uninsurable.
And it's not like, haha, we couldn't get an insurance quote once. We have spent a week speaking to people on the phone.
Yeah.
No one will insure it. Specific limo insurance companies have refused to insure us.
I found comparison sites that are like, we insure limos. And it asks you, are you doing it for business? I'm like, no.
And that's where they get confused.
Yeah. But yeah, we're trying to insure it because I don't know if you know, a limo's quite long. So we have a trailer that we move cars around on. We can't put the limo on the trailer because he doesn't fit. I think we'd probably have 2 trailers and it still wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
So we can't just tow it normally. We can't drive it illegally because it's not very.
We mentioned
it's not very stealthy
in a previous podcast that we had the insurance company that we had insured it with called us and said, "Yeah, you've actually insured this wrong. We can't insure it, so you need to find some other insurance." And a really nice listener, Leo, got in contact and said, "Oh, I work for an insurance company, and we actually do American specialist and limo stuff.
Yeah,
give me a ring. Maybe we can sort something out." I rung him and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get a quote going. Let's have a look." I got a call from him yesterday and he was like, "I'm sorry, man, but it doesn't work. Your car we can't insure it."
We got one quote, which was I had to put the number plate in on a comparison site, said it was a town car, which is true. And then when it says, does the car have X amount of seats? Like normally it'd say 5 seats or whatever. I said, no, it has 8.
Yeah. You didn't declare that it was a limo because there's nowhere to declare.
There's no one to say it's a limo, but I thought 8 seats is a dead giveaway. That it's slightly longer than usual. 8 seats in a 5-seater car, it's not comfortable. Yeah.
Unless you're just packing them in there.
So we said that. I think I might have said TV as well. And a quote came back at I think the most expensive was £4,900. Cheapest was like 4,600.
So $5,000
to insure £1,000
to not even
limo.
correctly insure it. You might pay that, and they might ring up just like we did last time and go, "No, we can't insure this. This is a limo."
I told you it had 8 seats.
Yeah. So we actually don't know what to do now.
We're at our wits' end with it.
I have exhausted every single specialist insurance. I've sat on the phone for maybe a cumulative 9 to 10 hours this week.
And we have a limo outside. Also, what do you do with it? if you transport long things,
let us know.
Get in contact.
But on the flip side, drove a Sandero. We
drove a Dacia Sandero Journey.
By the time this podcast comes out, the video will be out of us driving the cheapest car in the UK, which is a Dacia Sandero, for £13,750.
We haven't turned into car reviewers.
No, because in comparison, we then brought what we would buy for the same money. And you brought something quite similar, I would say.
Very similar. 4 doors.
4 doors.
Seats a similar amount of people.
I'd say car.
Wheels, steering wheel, engine.
The whole shebang.
Engine is quite large. The Dacia 1 litre.
Was a 1 litre. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And a 6.
And a 6.
A little bit more than that.
And a 0.2.
6.2. It is a C63 AMG.
Yeah. And I did see, Will went quite silly. It has to be said. I tried to take it a bit more seriously. I brought a V10 M5.
I mean, it's much more sensible.
It's a saloon, family saloon, really. So yeah, that video was a lot of fun to film because we got to drive some cars that we dreamed of driving.
I was quite annoyed because I was very ill that day. I could not wait. This was sort of like weeks in the making, months maybe actually. Yeah. And it was like the C63. A listener actually, John, who listens to this podcast, he heard that I said I wanted to drive or own a C63. I now very much want to own a C63.
I do too.
He sent a message and said, "Do you want to drive mine?" And it was like it was the guy. It was the guy. Perfect for what we're looking for. Also, just extremely loud.
Oh, but you wouldn't. You know what? I was thinking this on the way home after. You couldn't have a C63 any quieter.
If someone's got a quiet C63,
that's not how he works.
What are you playing at?
It's not him.
What are you playing at? So basically, it kind of came from there because we were like, okay, we've got access to a C63.
We might be able to blag a Dacia.
Friend of ours, Taylor, has just bought an E60 M5.
And I said, very pretty, please, Taylor, can I please drive it? And after lots of begging, he went, all right, fine, just be quiet.
It was a good excuse to drive 2 cars that we've both wanted to drive for a very, very long time. And it was just great.
It was very good.
Being ill wasn't nice, but that was a nice day to be ill.
Yeah, I will own an M5. Sorry, I will own that engine. That's my requirement.
I'm looking at C63s as I speak in my mind right now.
Because this podcast is pre-recorded, whatever Will is actually doing right now is looking at C63s.
You can. What's Will doing?
He's looking
at it. What is one on an auction currently? I'm probably not going to bid, but I'm going to see it go for some ridiculous amount of money, probably very cheap, and be upset. I want to get that little Christmas deal.
That little cheap Christmas deal.
Someone's like, I'll let it go.
Yeah.
Santa's coming.
So that's what we've been up to this week.
That's what we're happy. We also
while you're doing that, also I meant to say, Chris has asked me to do this, by the way. If you're watching this and not listening to it, I'm wearing our TDC X All the Gear X Auto Alex. We made a collab Christmas jumper. Yep. Chris has just asked me to say these are available, by the way, and they will, if you order them, I think he said like by December the 10th, I think they will arrive by Christmas.
Yep.
So go and grab it. I got this jumper 2 weeks ago, maybe.
I haven't seen it leave you.
I've worn it every day. It's just I mainly wear it because it's a nice mid layer because it's cold in this unit. Yeah. But also I just like it. It's really cool.
But it's just
buy a size up if you're buying one. If you're buying, it's quite tight. I'm an X. I usually wear an XL, which is why my clothes are too tight, and you always comment about it. Shut up. But this is a double XL.
Yeah.
So this is, and it's tight on me. Yeah. So get a size up. But they're really nice. I like them.
Also, it's great because from a distance, you would never know it's car nerdy and
exactly. It's just
nerdy,
a Christmas jumper.
But if you know the micro, you know the Ninky Donks on there.
The Ninky Donk is on it.
There are penguins. We got
and
those.
That is shop.
No.
Top. Try again. Topdeadsea.shop.com.
topdeadsea.com is the link you want.
Damn it.
Topdeadsea.com. We have got Christmas jumpers. I believe we might have wrapping paper coming.
We do.
We have Christmas cards.
Christmas cards.
We have, we do have t-shirts and stuff, but buy it. But no, there's more coming.
Yeah.
You might have noticed that we've changed some of our logos on our main YouTube channel, also sort of matches on 2DC as well. And there are t-shirts coming for Cream.
Yes, there are going to be some
Cream
t-shirts. Basically, we saw a load of your comments saying, can there be some non-episode specific Top Dead Center and Cream merch? It's coming. Because we both agree. We all agree that it's cars rule everything around me, man. You got to wear it. You got to rep it. Sorry to interrupt quickly. We don't yet have sponsors on the podcast, but we'll say that was a sponsor segment for Chris in the merch room.
Also, we are actually we're not just trying to make crap merch. We are all the time trying to make stuff that we would wear and we think you might wear. But Cream stuff, we're definitely on. Also, there's a Car's Ruin t-shirt as well. There's
so there will be a rule and a ruin so that you may choose whatever your soul vibes with more.
You pick your mood. So that's where we're at with that.
What we got next?
So get to the shop.
We got
another email. We've talked about this before. On the podcast, we've mentioned things that we'd like to do, and people keep coming, and a genie comes and goes, we'll make that come true. I can do that. We had a man we still need to reply to.
I'm sorry, Tom. I will. I promise.
On McLaren.
I'm not good with emails. I'm not good with Instagram or emails.
We've probably forgotten lots of others. But anyway, a man emailed. He emailed the shop, to be fair.
He did email the shop,
He didn't email. Maybe we need a specific. If you would like to email us,
maybe we'll make
contact@topdeadsea.com.
Yes. But maybe we'll make
Not just randomly.
We'll make a cream one.
Only if you have something to offer.
Yeah. I got half a chicken pie, mate. You can swap it.
A man sent an email to the shop. Josh in the shop said, a man emailed. He said he'd let you spec his car.
And we were both like, okay. Yeah, we mentioned on the podcast, someone we were expecting him to go like, yeah, I've got a Vauxhall Corsa allocation. Yeah. And he went, no, it's a, what did you say it was? A Lamborghini Temerario. And you're like, excuse me?
Sorry.
Also, why haven't we seen this yet? But yes, so do you know his name? I think you just signed it J.
I don't know his name. He has a name.
Oh, okay.
Just hold on.
Talk amongst yourselves.
It begins with J. I think his surname begins with O.
Great. Well, I think that for privacy reasons,
James Bond.
That's all we can. But
yes, he said he's quite. I just want to find what he said because also he was quite brief with it.
He was. Yeah. It was basically along the lines of, "Hi, I've got a Temerario allocation. I'd potentially let you spec it." And so Will and I were both like, right, we were told that. Was that yesterday? That was yesterday.
It was yesterday, yeah.
And we sat down there and then on the configurator and started messing with cars. So I also did it again when I was home last night.
Oh, really? I need to have a proper look because if it happens, we're making a video out of it.
And
I mean, also, we did say for a moment, do we mess him up?
Yeah, it would be quite funny to make it Ronald McDonald spec. Yeah. Also, was it, I believe the joke about the reason we were talking about this, which was the spec of Shmee's car, which we didn't like, has got back to Shmee.
Yeah, it has got back to Shmee. Jo, who of Skulls and Snaps, she knows Shmee. She listens to the podcast, sent it to Shmee.
Also, he found it quite funny.
Yeah.
we do.
What's going on here?
We're safe in this little bubble. No one watches this podcast.
What stays on the podcast? No.
What stays on the podcast stays on the podcast.
But anyway, apparently he was all right about it. He said apparently he wants us to come and see the car in person.
Fair.
So we can abuse it to his face.
Hey, listen, man, you pick Phoenix Yellow, not me.
That's the bit he was most annoyed about. He's like, hang on, whoa. You said it's Phoenix Yellow.
You can't tell me those accents aren't Phoenix Yellow.
But I mean, Shmee, mate, come on, mate.
Let us spec the next one.
Yeah. Get us on there. We'll sort you. None of this red and yellow stuff. Also, who did red and yellow first? Who did red with yellow stripes first? It was Phil.
We did. We made this joke literally last on the same one.
Did we?
Yeah. I said, who came first, the Phil or the egg?
Of course.
Yeah.
How can I forget?
How could I? Yeah.
Anyway, Jay, I have his name,
it's
but
Jay.
I won't say it. You said you want to spec a car. You can spec my Lamborghini Temerario if you want. I would need to get Manchester Lambo to agree to video, but I'm good if you want to go.
That's great. Also, so nonchalant.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It wasn't like, hi, man,
if you want to do it.
He was like, yeah, I got a Temerario coming. You want it? Fine.
Yeah, great.
On your head bit, mate.
But also we'll make it nice.
Yeah.
So maybe that will happen.
Yeah, we say, Jay, mate, what do you want us to spec it like?
So we're running quite long because we haven't done a forum.
We haven't.
But also Ben's not here this week, so
Ben's not here.
He hasn't chosen a forum question. So maybe we'll use this as a catch-up week, put some forum questions in, and we'll choose some for next time. I do have a lyric. Should we do a lyric, or should we do it just?
Can I mention one thing?
Yes,
because it's quite funny and it's quite recent. We went on a sports car trip. We went to not the Lake District, not Dartmoor. We stopped at a very, very nice pub. And,
this
we
is
were
great.
ordering food in this pub, and the waitress came up. The waitress was, I would say, older. I would say 50 plus.
Oh yeah, coming up 60s.
Yeah. And she was very, very kind, and very nice,
very lovely.
Quite talkative. She came up, asked us what we were doing in the area, and
sorry, can we role play? Can you play her? I'll play us. Yeah.
Hello, Edwin.
I think she said, "How were the chips?
How were your chips?
They were really good. Thank you so much.
I don't care. What are you doing in the area?
Okay. We're actually filming some cars. We work for a little YouTube channel. So,
all right. What sort of cars?
Some kind of older, cheap. One's a Nissan 350Z. One's a Porsche Boxster.
I quite like classic cars. I've got some myself.
Oh, really? What sort of cars do you have?
I've got a classic Mini.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really nice.
And your mum, you said
a classic one.
Was it your?
And then my friend's got one.
My friend's got a classic Mini.
Sorry, that was it. Yeah, my friend's got a classic Mini, and then
as she's now walking away towards the kitchen with the plates.
She said, and I've got a DB4.
And we went.
Sorry, what?
We went. Sorry, huh? What's that? Sorry. And we kind of went silent, and she
vanished. And
she just kind of went off the edge.
She may not have actually existed.
And we all looked at each other and went, we didn't mistake what she said. She said a DB4.
And then we were thinking, because she said about classic Mini, we thought,
I started looking up.
Is there a type of classic Mini that's called a DB4?
I looked it up. I couldn't see anything about any DB4 name that is associated with Mini.
I can't think of any other DB4 related thing.
So, maybe those pub lunches there's profit in there. Because if she's rolling around the DB4,
it's crazy.
It's cool times.
That's crazy. If you are that woman or you know that woman, get in touch.
At the Warren House Inn up in Dartmoor.
Had a fire that has been burning for 150 years.
1,000 years.
Saving on electric.
Yeah, pretty nice. Also, 2 fires.
Buys you a DB4.
Which one goes out first? So what we do? Are we doing a music section? An argument?
I say we're going on a little while. Let's just get straight to an argument.
Love it. Cool. I'll save that for next week.
We can have a double music section.
Also, someone commented and said when I asked for that we should come up with a name for the music section, car bars.
Car bars?
Said it's right there in front of you. That's a good point.
It's quite nice.
Quite nice, actually.
Maybe
I think
Ben
myself.
will have to make a little jingle.
He'll go into the mic, car bars, and then slow it down on the soundboard.
That's how you make bars.
So, you'd like to argue about something?
We've got an argument, and this one, Edwin and I have argued many times over this, but we never actually had a full-on...
Yes.
We never had a full-on debate about it.
If you're a first-time listener, we always like to end our podcast with a little argument. Will and I argue about everything. We're very similar with car things, but also very different and have very different tastes. So, bring it on, Home Slice.
All right, today's argument, floor mats, carpet
God,
mats
I hate
in cars.
I hate them.
It's just bollocks.
But what are they there for?
To protect your damn carpet. But sorry, how many of your cars have I been in?
Here's a question.
No,
here's a question. Do you have a floor mat on top of your floor mat to protect your floor mat? But then do you get another floor mat to protect that one? What's the point?
No, because you
never use the carpet then.
Because you don't need the carpet's purely there as like insulation and to cover up the fact that it's bare metal under there. That is purely decorative insulation for noise, all that kind of stuff.
So then what's the floor mat there?
Floor mats are there because they're an easy thing to replace when they wear, which is why, and I know I've seen this in many of your cars.
In the MX-5, it's the only car.
Fact many of your cars do 8 miles a year.
The MX-5 is the only one that has it.
Has holes in a carpet.
And it had it when I bought it.
Exactly, because some utter bellend
hasn't
been using floor
mats. Someone was doing something. Anyone who managed to
Someone was doing something.
Guys, does anybody know anything about anything at all? Right. Someone has managed to do something. If you manage to wear through a carpet
but you will.
With your foot, give up driving.
No, but
you don't understand how driving works.
But you absolutely will. If you do 100,000 miles in a car and it's just one air, but where's a floor mat? Because that will
But what are you doing? You're not touching. You shouldn't be touching that.
Now, I think you don't understand this because you don't drive a car enough.
What do you mean?
You're spreading your driving between 10 cars, doing 8 miles per year in each one.
But how is your why are your feet on the carpet? They should be on the pedal.
Hovering?
No.
See, sorry, wait, hang on. Let me get your driving style down here. Are you in the car just a toe on the pedal.
No, I'm like that.
So your heels, but that's what I mean. Your heels, that's a fair amount of wear.
Sorry, do my heels weigh 7 tons? They
do.
are resting on a carpet.
And you will find, and the sensible people out there listening will know that after a lot of driving, you will eventually wear through your floor mats, and it's purely through heels.
I think that's wild. I think it's ridiculous.
But
they get in the way. They're always moving around.
But that's when they're
shift
bad.
Around.
That's when they're bad. Bad floor mats. Okay. All right.
Any floor mat that isn't mounted to the floor,
that's what I mean.
That's an instant bin. I bin them all. I throw them in the bin.
Universal floor mats.
Yeah.
Also,
with the Comic Sans on the side.
Any of those. That's another argument. But anyway, if you buy shitty floor mats, if you buy those leather stitched floor mats, if you buy
the crisscross ones,
custom floor mats, or if you buy ones that've got a little red border on them, just get out. That's disgusting. You're an idiot. Just get nice carpets. Normally, an OEM carpet. Tell me.
I'm going to make a statement.
Tell me this. Now, go on in.
Hold on. This is a tangent. Any interior modification that isn't a steering wheel, gear knob, or a seat is bad. Paddles. You like doing paddles on the back of steering wheels? Nah.
No, but
standard
it has to be OEM plus.
Yeah. Wrapping stuff. We already touched this on before. Lights. The people that put those lights that you shove in the crevice of the thing.
You're a cretin.
Stop doing that. Yeah. The under seat like LEDs and things. Stop.
I'll be honest. I've done some footwell lighting in my time, but not anymore.
I've got an argument for next week. I've just thought of it.
Is it LEDs?
Yeah, it's LEDs.
You won't get me on that.
Yeah, I don't care.
I've changed my ways.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Then maybe I'll find a different one. But floor mats,
but they must still.
They raise your foot.
So what sort of floor mat have you got?
Sorry,
you've been shagpiling.
Are they not this much on a bad day? Are they not this much
all right.
more?
Tell me this. Right, Range Rover, especially in my one, the standard ones, the nice ones, you get those thick carpets. You're saying that's better without them.
What do you say? Wait, what's thick carpet?
It's got those
the floor mat
thick-ass floor mats.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Why? That's nice as fuck.
But what do you mean? I'm not driving in bare feet. I'm not going, God, these feel good on my bare feet. Oh, God, I love this. I have shoes.
Someone get a clip of that.
I have shoes on. I can't feel the floor mat.
Yeah, but still, you're just so wrong. It's literally because you can swap them out when they wear rather than swapping out your whole damn carpet. Also, again, here's the other thing. It's not just about wear.
It's about why and who.
It's about who and why and what. When you get in your car, 9 times out of 10, you have been outside. Correct?
That I'd say is mostly true. Yeah, I can't think of a time where I've been in my house and got directly into my car.
That's what I mean. So you have traipsed out, along some mud or rain or whatever. Goes on the carpet.
Okay, but
and that means when you clean your car, when you clean your car, you can clean the carpet. And it means you can remove that carpet, properly clean it. Or if it gets too soiled, you simply replace it with a fresh new one when it's warm.
Rather, looking at old people.
How do you remove your entire carpet?
That's okay. That was what I was about to say. Cleaning the thing, it makes no difference because you'd clean the carpets anyway. Yes, taking it out is, I guess, is easier. But I just vacuum out my interior anyway. So I'm just vacuuming it. I mean,
but what are you not saying?
I'm in the car anyway with the vacuum.
If you're doing if you're doing normal miles in a car, you will wear through the carpet.
That's the thing. I think is I struggle to. I think you're sitting wrong. I think you're.
But your heels is quite an angle.
I don't drive.
That's a lot of wear.
I don't drive like turning my heel into the carpet like I'm churning butter. Okay. I just rest my foot on the carpet. No. Do you wear through the carpet in your house when you walk through it?
No, because you're not. Yeah, okay, no, but you would if you sat in the same place for hours. Okay, you're an 80-year-old man.
Okay, what about people in their living rooms? Sitting in their sofa.
No one sits there. No one sits there for the same amount. No one sits there. It's like sitting in your living room and going.
But
sorry, what I'm doing right now is shuffling my legs.
That's quite funny, audio listeners. I don't know what you're doing.
What I'm doing right now is sitting here. No one does what you do in a car.
Put that on a quote. No one on a t-shirt.
No one is doing with their legs what they do in a car, what they do on a sofa. I don't care if that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me.
I think that is the perfect quote to end this podcast on. But I have to make a t-shirt on that.
I'll tell you what, I'd put it to you. You sucked on a horse. I put it to you. If we did 10,000 miles in the same car, I have floor mats and you have a carpet, you're putting a hole in that carpet.
Absolutely not.
100%.
I think you've just got the heaviest feet in the world.
Bullshit.
You know what? It's because you keep wearing those cowboy boots with spurs on the back of them.
Well, all right, Vans guy.
No, I'm saying are you wearing cowboy boots that have a spur on the back?
No,
you're just cutting into the carpet.
But it's just common knowledge. If you keep doing the same thing in the same place, lots of movement, it will wear.
I just think. But I've bought 200,000 mile cars before that don't have floor mats in them.
Yeah, but they don't have floor mats in then, but they probably have it for the rest of their life. There's no way. Because most people are sensible. Bullshit. I hate it. I like it in a car that doesn't have floor mats. I'm immediately thinking you're a scumbag.
Oh, see, I remove and throw them away. I get rid of them.
If it has aftermarket ones or doesn't have them, I'm not buying your car, you stupid idiot.
That's a grand off. No, floor mats are way...
Also, floor mats are quite expensive.
That's another reason why I hate them as well. Because I remember looking at trying to buy, I had a passenger one in something and a driver one. Went to go and buy a driver one, £150. Are you joking me? You think I'm going to spend that on a piece of carpet?
But there are ways around it.
Like what?
No, they're just, I'm not saying steal it, but as in there are... You can buy...
I'm not saying steal
there are
it.
aftermarket ones that are quite nice.
Do they still look...
a bit thicker, but they still look OEM.
Okay.
Anyway.
Floor mat
Let us know
over here.
I bet you're all floor mat kind of guys.
Oh no, I understand that I'm in the minority here. I just hate them.
Also, it looks shit.
Without?
Yeah.
I disagree. I think floor mats look horrible.
That's just such stupid bullshit.
Floor mats.
I actually hate it.
They just look dumb.
Do you know what? This is the worst argument.
They look dumb. Do you wear? It's like wearing armbands. You're just wearing something for safety.
No. Do you know what it's like? It's like wearing socks.
Why? Socks, they're not for heat and insulation reasons, but...
No, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, great. I think that's perfect.
But that's what it feels like to me. It feels like wearing shoes with no socks. If you have no floor mats, you're essentially barefoot in your foot in your shoes, and that's disgusting.
Right. That's you know what? That's more... I always think that our arguments don't get that close to our real arguments. That was closer than most.
Joe has no floor mats in their car. People who wear flip-flops.
Great. Well, great. Yeah, well, you wear Crocs. So
I do.
Thank you very much for listening to the Cars Rule Everything Around Me podcast. It's a very long Brunei section that kind of hit on the rest of the podcast. But thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week where we will be talking probably about floor mats again.
And Brunei again.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your week. Let us know in the comments if you are rule or ruin, as always.